My name is Dominika Peeyasekka. I work for the Vegan Society.
My name is Vegan Chef Day and I'm a professional chef.
So it's World Vegan Day, which actually marks the founding of the Vegan Society 74 years ago. So a lot of people think veganism is quite a new thing, but we've actually been around since 1944. And the Vegan Society is the world's oldest organization whose founder actually came up with the word vegan.
Gosh, it must have been very difficult, though, to be a vegan back in the sort of early days.
Yeah, certainly. There's been so many new options now, and I'll pass that one on to Day, who's been vegan for over 20 years because she's better informed on that than me.
Yeah, it was really, really difficult. The only place that you could get plant milk alternatives were at health food shops, and you'd have to really dig around for health food shops back then. Whereas nowadays, the supermarkets aren't only selling them, but they're also producing their own type as well, and they're producing their own cheese, their own meat substitutes. So it's really, it's flooded the market. It's absolutely everywhere, and it's easier than ever.
I want to know how strict you have to be, because it's not just about, sort of switching out substitutes for meat and dairy, is it? Because really, if you're going to be a proper vegan as such, I suppose you need to think about things like your clothing, about your products. I even saw something on one forum saying, should you actually date someone who's not a vegan?
It's always an interesting one.
Well, most people start with the food. So start with the food because that's the most easy one. It's the most obvious one as well. After you're used to that, after that you have that fitting into your lifestyle, then you can branch out to looking at your leather clothes, your wool clothes, what other products you buy, and then take it from there. So it's good to do it as a transition. Otherwise, it is very, very overwhelming.
And Dominika, it does seem like it's becoming, not least I suppose it is more accessible, as Day was just saying there, but it is becoming more popular, isn't it? What do you think it is that sparked this sort of trend towards veganism?
I think there's simply been more awareness about the benefits of veganism. So a lot of people come to it because of animal rights reasons. So it's quite easy to see why animals have to die for us to be able to eat meat. But with the dairy and egg industries, there has been much more awareness about how animals are used and that they have to die as well as a result of those industries. So I think a lot more people are sort of coming around the idea that we do not need animal products to be healthy, and we can live a happy and healthy life on a vegan diet. So a new research actually found that half of the British public have said that they would definitely consider becoming vegan at some stage. And this is really, really great from our perspective, also for environmental benefits and the health benefits that come with the vegan lifestyle. It's a great choice for everyone, and we would encourage any listeners who are interested in becoming vegan to download our new app. It's called VGuide, and you spell it as VE and then guide. You can download it on Android and iOS devices from today. And it's a great introduction to the vegan lifestyle. It's got a lot of interactive videos, some tips and advice, as well as recipes and daily quizzes. So it's a great thing to get you started on your vegan journey.
Dominika, you've mentioned the environmental side of it as well, and there's a lot of suggestion, isn't there, that the idea of it is much better for the planet. But with the sort of increased demand for the substitutes, and a lot of them are sort of soya-based, is that eventually going to sort of impact on the environment as well?
The thing with soya is that currently over 90% of the world's soya is fed to animals because it's cheaper to feed them a soya and corn-based diet. So if the world is gradually moving in a vegan direction, that means we wouldn't need to produce as much soy. It's much more efficient to eat it directly rather than feed it to animals and then eat their bodies. It's very wasteful because animals eat a lot of food and they produce a lot of waste, and they also drink a lot of water. So by cutting out the middle animal, if you like, we can cut down our food-related carbon footprint as well by up to 50%. And that's simply by choosing to eat in a vegan way or in a more vegan-friendly way. So as individuals, we can achieve amazing things to save the planet, and we can really step up our game to protect our Earth.
And what about the sort of health side of it then, Dave? Because I know you're someone who knows about vegan recipes and how to get the right sort of balance of stuff. But do you have to be careful?
You don't have to be as careful as you think you would. As long as you are getting a wide variety of fruits, vegetables, beans, pulses, etc., then you can be a very, very healthy vegan. You should take B12. That's the only supplement that we should take. But apart from that, and as long as you are eating the healthier vegan food. So Oreos are vegan, but I wouldn't suggest that you eat them for breakfast, lunch and dinner every day. So as long as you bring some common sense to it as well.
And is it okay then, because there's a bit of a trend at the minute, isn't there, for sort of cutting out meat and or dairy for some of the time? Is it okay to be like a part-time vegan?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that everyone has to figure out what works for them and what works for them at this current moment, because that changes, that definitely changes quite a lot. So more people are being flexitarian, so doing it for, Monday to Friday they'll be vegan, and then at the weekend they won't be vegan. So we're seeing that, or people are deciding, if I go on holiday, then I won't be vegan because it might be too difficult. But what I say is, yes, you can do that, but just try and make some progress as you go along and as you get more information, and just see how your body reacts to it as well. Because what we find is that when people do this transition, they find that Monday to Friday veganism, they actually feel a lot better on it than they do at the weekend.
I suppose she raised a good point there as well, Dominika, about, sort of if you're going on holiday, it might be difficult. It's not like everyone's going to be vegan. And so it is going to an extent impact on your life to a degree with, for instance, your social life, because it's difficult to sort of go round to your friends' houses and expect them to cook for you vegan food, isn't it?
I think they made a valid point about going on holiday, because obviously we don't know what it's like to be a vegan in all of those other countries. But in the UK, we are so lucky to have so many vegan options out there. I mean, everywhere you go, you have vegan menus in restaurants, pubs and cafes. There's actually a really good app called Happy Cow, where you can type in the name of your city or the city you're visiting, and it's showing you all the vegan and vegan-friendly places where you can be eating. So we're seeing a huge increase in the number of options provided in those institutions, and also abroad. The app works for places abroad as well, so it doesn't have to be difficult. A lot of places now have a decent vegan option, so things are really improving.
And for those dinner parties as well, the supermarkets are really catering for us now. So your friends, they can easily go to the supermarket and get you a few bits and pieces from there. Or what I'll do is I would offer to bring something round as well, and to help them with that dinner party that you're going to. Now,
everything you're talking about does sound very positive, and it is a very good day, World Vegan Day, to get the sort of information out there. Really unfortunate timing with the Waitrose sort of issue at the minute, isn't there? Was it William Sitwell, and he came out with this awful reaction to being proposed some features about plant-based recipes, saying, let's have an article about ways to trap vegans and expose their hypocrisy and all this sort of thing. What did you make of that article?
So the Vegan Society didn't actually call for Mr. Sitwell to resign. So we sort of have sympathy for him, because we all know that he didn't mean to offend, and we can tell that it was a joke. But the problem here was that these comments were made in a professional capacity, and they don't actually align with what Waitrose is pushing for. So Waitrose is actually one of the leading supermarkets in terms of vegan food provision, and it was really good to have such a strong backing and solidarity from a big supermarket. And I think what needs to be recognised is that Mr. Sitwell apologised quite quickly, and we only hope that he has changed his attitude towards vegans, and we actually hope to see the series of features proposed by the journalists to be accepted, and we hope to see that in Waitrose Food Magazine.
And I'm assuming with more and more people looking to try veganism, those attitudes you must encounter them a lot less nowadays.
Yeah, I think that's certainly the case. Many people are much more open-minded these days, and as the research has shown, over half of the British public have said that they would consider becoming vegan at some stage. So this really shows that people are more open-minded to different foods and lifestyles. So it's really great to see so many people being interested in veganism. And like I said earlier, for anyone interested, we would strongly recommend them to download VGuide right now.
But before you go then, Dave, what about, give us a list of maybe 4 or 5 products that we should have in our cupboards that will just make it easier to sort of deal with being vegan on a daily basis.
Okay, so first of all, we've got yeast extract, also known as Marmite or Vegemite. So that's a great addition to any meaty dish that you want to create. So say, for example, burgers or sausages or a chili con carne. It gives you that real meaty, like savoury flavour, because vegetables are actually naturally sweet. So you need that to balance it out. So that's a good one. The other one is nutritional yeast. Now, it's very different to yeast extract. Nutritional yeast is a flake, and that makes things taste cheesy. So you can make your own cheese sauce with that, and cashews. So cashews would be the third one as well. Cashews are great for making creams. They're great for making a pasta sauce. I've also made ice cream with it as well. So cashews, if you soak them and then blend them, that's another one. A really good olive oil, because if you add that to the dish, I actually fry with that, and that makes all my dishes taste so much better. And just using those really good ingredients, actually, that's one thing to do.
Is it time consuming though? Because this nature of sort of soaking things and creating your, does it take a lot more time? Do you have to prepare?
It depends what you're making. So if I'm doing something with that cashew cream, I'll soak the cashews the night before, or a really good cheat is to soak them in some hot water from the kettle for about half an hour, and then that makes them as soft as they need to be. So you can always do it that way. So if you're going to go for a plant-based whole foods diet where you are cooking from scratch, you're spending more time cooking. So yes, that might take you a bit more time, but you need to find quick, easy, healthy recipes to make. So my website, Vegan Chef Day, has loads of them on. I have a lot of one-pot dishes as well, so it doesn't necessarily need to take more time.